I've always tried to be a patient husband. I never cared much for big birthdays, expensive gifts, or grand celebrations. But there's a line between forgetting and ignoring, and my wife had crossed it again. It was my birthday. Or at least it should have been. I woke up to silence, the coffee maker untouched, the small stack of mail unopened. I checked my phone. No messages, no texts, no calls, not even a quick happy birthday from her. I tried not to let it get to me. Maybe she was busy, maybe she had something planned for later. But the hours passed, and still, nothing. By evening, I decided to ask casually, "Hey, anything planned for tonight?" She looked up from her phone, smiled faintly, and said, "Oh, sorry, I forgot. Been busy at work." It wasn't the first time, and that's when something clicked. I've learned over the years that people who forget small things often hide bigger things. I waited until she went to bed that night. Then I did something I never thought I'd do. I logged into our joint insurance account. I didn't know exactly what I was looking for, but I knew where to start. The activity logs, the claims, anything out of the ordinary. At first, it seemed mundane. Routine entries, typical medical checkups, some prescriptions filled. But then, I noticed a few anomalies. Multiple dental appointments she hadn't mentioned. Small claims at a clinic I had never heard of. A recurring entry that seemed oddly specific. Couples counseling. Curiosity turned into suspicion. Couples counseling? She never suggested it to me. She never mentioned it. And yet, there it was, listed for months. I dug deeper. A few clicks later, I found what I feared most. A claim for a hotel stay. Not a weekend getaway, not a business trip, just a single night. And it wasn't for me. I froze. My heart started racing. I had known there was something off, a change in behavior, a slight emotional distance I couldn't explain. But this confirmed the worst. The next day, I tried to act normal. I didn't confront her immediately. I observed. I watched how she texted, how she hid her phone, how she suddenly became busy in the afternoons. Patterns emerged. Late nights, mysterious calls, and always the same vague excuses. That evening she came home smiling, as if nothing had changed. I looked at her calmly, my mind racing. "Busy day?" I asked casually. "Yeah, work stuff." "Sorry again I forgot your birthday," she said. I nodded, pretending I hadn't noticed the discrepancy in her story. Later that night, I confronted her, not with accusations, not with anger, but with evidence. I laid out the findings, the hotel stay, the counseling entries, the patterns I had noticed over months. Her face changed immediately, shock, panic, then a faint, guilty smile. "It's not what it looks like," she started. But it was. Everything pointed to the truth I had suspected. She had been seeing someone else. And the counseling, the hotel visits, they weren't for us. They were a cover, a way to make everything seem legitimate while she pursued something outside our marriage. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I just listened, calmly, letting her stumble over explanations, excuses, and half-truths. When she finished, I simply said, "Happy birthday to me." She blinked. "What?" I said, "Happy birthday," I repeated. "Because today I learned two things. One, I need to celebrate myself. And two, I finally understand how much you've been hiding from me." She opened her mouth to speak, but I held up a hand. "Don't bother. I've already decided what's next." I moved out that night. I didn't argue, didn't create a scene. I packed my essentials and left quietly, leaving her to face the consequences of the life she had built outside our marriage. Weeks later, I finalized the separation. The betrayal stung, but what hurt most wasn't the affair itself. It was the realization that she had treated our life, our trust, as disposable. She didn't even have the courtesy to remember a birthday, a simple acknowledgement, before choosing someone else. I learned something important through all this. Betrayal often hides in the details, the small things we dismiss. Forgotten birthdays, unexplained appointments, minor inconsistencies. These are often warning signs. And when you ignore them, when you trust blindly, the truth hits harder than you ever imagined. Now, I live quietly, cautiously, but freely. I don't let anyone's deceit define me anymore. And every time I pass that insurance portal, I smile. Not because I'm cruel, but because I finally saw the truth, and I acted before it destroyed me entirely.